A former Justice Department attorney testified in the trial of former Fugees member Pras Michel. George Higginbotham told the jury he worked on behalf of Michel as part of an illegal campaign to convince the Trump administration to return a Chinese dissident to Beijing. Joining us now is Michael Ames. He is covering the trial for Rolling Stone. Michael, good to see you.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
So let's talk about this former Republican fundraiser, Elliot Broidy, and actor Leo DiCaprio, who testified earlier this week. I mean, it's like, okay, you got somebody that most people have never heard of and one of the biggest stars in the world. Talk me through that testimony.
All right. Well, I mean, starting with Leo, I was in the courtroom, and he followed one of the sleepier government witnesses who was testifying about cell phone receptions and pinging. So the jury went from being a little bit dozed off, I think, to having their minds somewhat blown by Leo DiCaprio walking in and explaining to the jury what he does for a living. He was called, Leonardo DiCaprio was called by the government, but I think he ended up being a little bit better, perhaps, of a government witness. They actually switched him, better of a defense witness while he was on the stand, because he explained that his studio and his lawyers and representatives looked into and did a background check on Jolo, the Malaysian white-collar criminal behind all of this. Behind these two corruption and money laundering schemes, and Leonardo explained that he got a green light to work with Jolo, who ended up financing the Wolf of Wall Street, as perhaps some of your viewers know. And Elliot yeah.
I would have loved to be in the courtroom for that testimony, for sure. So there's other big names involved, right? Former President Barack Obama, Kim Kardashian. Tell us about how they are involved in this.
Yes, well, it's a sprawling story because it's a sprawling Justice Department investigation that went on over 11 years, looking at two different political finance conspiracies, really, that all trace back to this Malaysian white-collar criminal Jolo. The first chapter is 2012, the second's 2017. So we have the first chapter with the Obama campaign in 2012, and how that dirty money from Malaysia was funneled into the Obama campaign. And then the second chapter being 2017, and how that same Malaysian financier, Jolo, tried to use his cash to buy influence with the Trump administration.
So you actually had an opportunity to speak to Pras Michel in an exclusive interview before the trial. Give us a sense of that conversation and what your takeaways were.
Yeah, I sat down with him for about 4 hours in New York City in his Soho loft, and he tried to smile and laugh and tell me a lot of stories of the good old days and the Fugees, but he also told me that he got personal, and he said this whole thing has really swallowed his life. He said he feels like he's living in quicksand. This is every day. It's grueling. I've been in the courtroom every day and seeing, it's an early start. You're sitting there all day listening to a lot of testimony, and he really said he feels like he's sinking in quicksand here. And I'm looking forward to it being concluded.
What other testimony do you think we're going to hear, and do you think Michel could take the stand?
So whether Pras Michel takes the stand is definitely kind of a major question hanging over the entire proceedings. They have not told me for sure one way or the other. I think it remains to be seen, so stay tuned for that. I think if he does take the stand, it would certainly be pretty explosive and kind of an interesting appeal to the jury after they have sat for weeks listening to all of his alleged misdeeds. But there are a lot of other big names who are going to be coming up whether or not he testifies. That includes former Attorney General Jeff Sessions, who will testify a bit about the negotiations with the Chinese government in 2017, and the emissaries, and how Pras Michel ended up somewhat inadvertently becoming a sort of a rogue, impromptu diplomat, and how he negotiated the release of a Chinese-American citizen from a Chinese prison. You're going to hear from Steve Wynn, who the defense will call, who will have to explain why he was lobbying the Trump administration on behalf of Chinese government interests in 2017, and perhaps explain why, after months of that effort by Steve Wynn, he has escaped this with no charges at all, while Pras Michel is facing decades in prison for doing honestly less of a very similar alleged crime.
Very interesting trial. Michael Ames, thank you.
Thank you.